We're honored to have with us the alternate Prime Minister, Minister of Defense, Chairman of the Blue and White Party, Benny Gantz. It's great to have you with us. Thank you very much for finding the time. I'd like to start with the deals between Israel and the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. No question they're historic, but I'm curious from your vantage point, what does it mean for the fight, the regional fight against Iran?
Well, it is really a pleasure to be with you tonight. And definitely we are seeing a paradigm shift, I would say, as a result of those kind of agreements that we are now seeing as Abraham Accord with Bahrain and the United Emirates between them and us. And of course, it has an impact on Iran. All of a sudden, we became away from being the problem and as being part of the solution. And I think that the fact that we can have good relations and hopefully we can expand them as much as possible into the future with those two countries and others to follow, a signal to Iran that it's actually facing a whole block of moderate countries, and it's a great advantage. So from my perspective, vis-a-vis Iran, it's very important, but as important are the relations between our two nations or three nations and those to follow, because it's about time that we can start and actually experiencing peace and not only talking about it. So I'm very happy with it, of course.
Well, that's very positive and optimistic. I want to ask you also about the QME, the qualitative military edge. There's been talk, and the president himself has said that the F-35 might be sold to the United Arab Emirates. As Minister of Defense, one of your jobs is to ensure Israel retains a qualitative military edge. We're seeing the proliferation of weapons and arms throughout the region. Are you concerned? Is this something that we can retain? Israel will have that edge?
Well, yes, I am concerned, and I think we must make sure that our qualitative military edge always stay way ahead of other countries. By the way, first and foremost, it has to do about who we are. The Israeli military forces are the best in the region, and they will always be the best in the region, due to our human resources, due to our equipment, due to our training, and due to the fact, very important fact, that we have no alternative but winning any kind of campaign that we have to face. Having said that, I do appreciate the United States' effort to maintain our QME. It is within U.S. legislation that the President of the United States must report to the U.S. Congress and Senate once every 4 years the way he maintained Israel's QME, and we are very appreciative of it. And last but not least, of course, we have our professional relations with the Department of Defense and other mechanisms in the United States. Of course, we cannot elaborate on those issues, but I'm sure we will find a way of maintaining this QME, which is very important for us, as you rightly said.
So I want to move for a second to the bipartisan ties, right, which is also, I think you would agree, is a strategic asset to the state of Israel, that no matter who's in power across the aisle, Israel is viewed as a close ally and an ally that America wants to help retain the qualitative military edge. Now, it seems, and some might say, that that's been eroded in recent years. We've seen the close relationship between Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump. Are you concerned about that as well? And also, can it be repaired? Can it be fixed?
Well, I'm very happy with the relations between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu and the relations between the United States and the State of Israel. For me, a bipartisanship, it's like another religion. I think it is bigger than us. It's more important than us. It is timeless, and it's so important for us. I mean, I respect any president of the United States, whether he's a Democrat or Republican, as much as I expect any president of the United States to work with whoever is the prime minister in Israel, regardless of which party he comes from. This is crucial for us. And we have relations that are based on mutual interest and mutual values. And this is something which I think is stronger than any government in Israel or any administration in the United States. I think we should constantly work on this bipartisanship. It's very important. And as far as I'm concerned, I always talked about it, and I will always act upon this as in a bipartisanship perspective as much as I can. And I think that's the same case with the United States. We had great relations with Democrats administrations. We had great relations with Republican administration. And let's keep it this way. This is very important.
So just to before we wrap up, diaspora relations. A lot of our viewers who are tuning in right now are Jews across the world, especially the United States, would love to be able to come to Israel right now. They can't come. Your party holds the diaspora portfolio. Is there something that you can say to them about, obviously COVID is a crisis that the whole world is grappling with right now, but will Israel begin to open once again, allow people who are yearning to come here to be able to visit?
Yes, we definitely hope so. Unfortunately, under the current circumstances of the COVID-19, it looks very complicated to fulfill this aspiration, I would say. But as you rightly mentioned, we hold those portfolios of both immigration and absorption and Ministry of Diaspora, of both Pnina Shato and Minister Yankelevich. We argue a lot within the Israeli government, but one of the only resolutions we took at the very beginning of this government tenure was a strategic plan to increase the relation between Israel and the diaspora Jews, which is very important for us all. Israel is the home country of every Jew around the world by definition, and this relations and this connection is very important for us. So first, I would like to strengthen all Jews around the world, ask them to keep their community strong together, stick to each other, support each other, and hopefully sooner than later we be able to open the skies, and there will be no one more happy than me and no one more happy than Israeli citizens seeing their brothers coming to visit as soon as possible.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank you, Minister of Defense, alternate Prime Minister Benny Gantz. Thank you very much for being at the Jerusalem Post Conference.
Thank you so very much. And please don't forget, we are partners. Keep it this way.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.